How about this story? Steve Kerr says Kevin Durant is more gifted
Key, take it away.
than Michael Jordan. So Kerr coached Durant for 3 seasons, as we know, in Golden State. The Warriors went to the NBA Finals all 3 years that KD played for them. They won 2 titles. He was the Finals MVP in both championships and had amazing performances. Now, they could have probably pulled off a three-peat if it wasn't for Durant's that obviously the Achilles popping on him against the Raptors in that final season. Now, Steve Kerr also played with Michael Jordan, won 2 titles with MJ, with the Bulls. So his perspective on this obviously is something that is interesting because he played with Jordan, but coached Durant. And listen to what he said, NBC Bay Area, about Kevin Durant and his comparison to Jordan.
He's the most talented basketball player on earth, if not of all time, honestly. He's just so gifted.
Played with Michael Jordan, and
I know,
KD's
I know.
Is right
I think
there.
he's more gifted. I really do. I mean, that's saying something, but Kevin is a entirely different breed. I mean, 6'11", with guard skills, unlimited three-point range, passing, shot blocking at the rim. It's just stunning. And watching him this year was really, really gratifying to see.
All right, so rather than argue with Kerr here, let me ask you this, Jay. What would make
I'd
KD
rather you
more
start with
gifted?
Key, Alan. I'd rather you start with Key, please. Thank you. Key,
seriously.
take it away.
No, but in reality, because we're not arguing with this is Kerr's take, not yours. But if what would Steve be? What's he basing this on? What would it be?
His eyes, playing with one and coaching the other, and I can.
That's intimate knowledge when you have that experience.
Clearly see what he's saying. He didn't say all-around player. He just said more gifted than Michael Jordan. 7 feet tall wingspan, or 6'11" with a wingspan that takes him over 7. His ability to do all sorts of things, play small when he needs to, play big when he needs to, can shoot from anywhere on the court, can also penetrate when he needs to. Not nearly the defender that Michael was, because in today's game they're probably not asking to defend as much. But I can see where he sees that. We look at it differently because we grew up with Michael Jordan. We watched Michael Jordan win 6 titles, 3-peats twice. So it's like, how could you do that? But when you look at things and his skill set, it's almost like in football, you say Jerry Rice is the greatest of all times. No question about it. But that tall, skinny dude with them dreads and them braids and all that, Cash, homie, straight Cash, he's more gifted
Randy Moss, right? Yeah.
than Jerry Rice was.
Right. That's
by far.
Big difference.
Randy Moss was a freak, like a real, just crazy athleticism and wild stuff. You'd be like, how the hell did he do that? That's Kevin Durant.
There's only one word that describes the Slim Reaper to me, and that is singularity. Like, there's never been a player like him, and I've been saying this, and I'm glad Steve Kerr said most gifted. Now, I'm not comparing Michael Jordan as one-on-one rarefied air. But when you start looking at KD, Key, yesterday you were talking about happened to bump into Jason Collins, right? Jason Collins is 7 feet tall. It's not until you get up close to people until you like,
man, he was really big, Jay. God,
I'm with you,
big.
Key. So that's my thing. Like, so when you start seeing dudes, right, and then you actually put it together, and you see Kevin Durant, and you're like, he's 7 foot tall, but he's doing things like CP3 with the ball.
Small guy.
Or AI with the ball.
Small guy.
And he scores from angles. Like, he takes shots on 45-degree angles of fading away.
Anywhere on the floor.
It's unguardable. And the attention to detail, this is why I say him and MJ have so much in common. Obviously, they're both incredibly competitive, incredibly next-level competitive. But the way KD studies basketball, if you ever hear him on a podcast or speak to him about basketball, he's a legit savant, dude. Like, he can recall plays. He can tell you angles of attack. The way he studies the game is just different, and he actually makes it applicable to his game. Like, a lot of players can study the game, but they can't actually do it on the court. It doesn't translate. All the things that he studies, he translates into moves and then accomplishes at a high rate. That's different.
Think about it. He's 7 feet tall, man.
Yeah, you take that for granted when you watch him play. You don't realize how difficult it is just to block the shot. I think the gifted part of it is what makes this less of a comparison of greatness and more of a comparison of just players. It's just comparing who he is as a player. Because to say, like, he didn't say he's better. He didn't say he's great and Jordan is below him. What he's saying is he's more gifted. And I think the Randy Moss comparison to Jerry Rice, perfect.
Yeah.
Like, that's the best way to put it. It's just that he is blessed with so much more that can make him a great player.
I swear to you right now.
And he's getting the most out of those gifts, which is also important.
I think Randy is 40-ish right now. I swear to you right now.
He can come in the league.
Man, Randy will go put work in right now. And I'm not just saying this. Randy will go put work in right now. He could go be somebody's 2-3 guy right now. Right now.
Just based on gifts that would just allow him to do it.
Certain people are born with certain gifts that allow you to do certain things where others aren't.
I'm gonna leave it like this.
Even if KD didn't come back and was able to move like he's moving now off that Achilles, I think he would still give you 20 points a game.
That's what I'm saying. He's so gifted.
Just on the block.
His IQ.
Yeah,
and,
we sit around and go, oh man, his ankle. Oh, he tore it. He can't possibly be this guy. He looks the same, man. It was like a fake injury or something.
It didn't really happen.
He just wanted to just sit out.
So he just took time off like Jordan did?
Yeah,
he
just
went to go play baseball for a year?
rather than say he wanted to go swim for a year, he decided I'm going to take off and fake my injury and then come back.
It is just amazing. But if you think about it too, right? I always marvel at this too. Sports, games are created by humans, right? Games are created by humans. The fact that there are people that look like they were born to play a game that was created by humans, like how has that happened? Just think about it that way. You literally, his gifts and everything, born to play a game that was created 100 years ago. That to me just is mind-boggling. I just went existential on everybody.
And he'll continue to develop that killer instinct that he has already. And then you'll compare him even more to Michael Jordan.
No, there's way more for him to do.
I'll compare him. You stay out of it, Jay.
I will, yeah. And there's more to discuss.
Kevin Durant,
I'm
comparing you to Michael Jordan, not Jay
don't
Will.
say anything. We got you.
I did it.